Welcome back to Inside a Teen's Mind, Episode 5. I am Little I, or Li for short. It is finally November. Did everyone have a good Halloween? So last time I talked about multitasking and sleep. If you're interested in that, check out that episode. Today we are starting the series Thinking About Theories. In this series, I will talk about certain theories of psychology. Now, the following episodes might not be talking about theories. It's just that whenever I do talk about theories, I would add that to the title so it's easier for you guys to find it. In this episode, I want to focus on Maslow's hierarchy of needs theory. First of all, who is Maslow? Now, heads up, his name is spelled M-A-S-L-O-W, not V at the end. But his full name is Abraham Maslow. And he was born and grew up in New York. He is the oldest out of the 7 children of his Jewish parents who emigrated from Russia. According to Very Well Mind, his early life was not described as happy, but mostly unhappy and lonely. After he developed an interest in psychology, he went to the University of Wisconsin and earned 3 degrees there. So now we've got a little idea of who Maslow is, we can talk about his famous hierarchy of needs theory. Now, what is this theory? The hierarchy of needs is basically a psychological theory that includes 5 levels of human needs, stating that if the lower level of needs are not fulfilled, a person cannot progress upward. Maslow believes that basic needs, or survival needs, must be achieved before the person can move on to the next level of needs. Now, all of this probably doesn't make any sense, but it would be easier if we use a pyramid, which is often how this theory is depicted. Imagine that there's a pyramid that is divided into 5 levels. From the bottom to the top, it goes from physiological needs, safety needs, love and belonging, esteem, and self-actualization. Now, what does each level mean? Starting from the bottom, we have physiological needs. In other words, these are the basic biological needs that a person needs in order to survive. For example, people need water, food, air, shelter, clothes, etc. According to Simply Psychology, the reason this is at the base of the pyramid is because Maslow believes that physical survival needs are the most important, as the rest of the needs may not be fulfilled if this level of needs is not. If the first level, the physiological needs, are not met, we cannot function. Therefore, we cannot move on in the pyramid. Once this level is satisfied, the next level, safety needs, will need to be achieved. The level of safety needs include the need for security and stability. These needs are met through physical security, financial security, and mental security. For example, physical security may include protection from harm. If you live in a safe and secured house, it protects you from danger. A financial security might be having enough money to buy basic necessities, which the money comes from a steady income and job security. Now, financial security does not mean you need to be super rich and be able to buy anything you want. Mental security means that you feel safe from harassment, assaults, threat, or any other kind of violence. Another security that you might not think of is law and order. Living in a society where there is a stable and effective legal system provides you security. If your government is at war or the government doesn't really do anything to ensure the safety of people in the country, you cannot really feel secured in the country. Sadly, there are many countries in the world like that. But the point is, safety needs can be met with physical, financial, and mental security. Once your physiological and safety needs are fulfilled, you are capable of moving on to the next level, which is love and belonging. This level represents the need for connection, relationships, and a sense of belonging. This doesn't only include romantic relationships, but also friendship, family intimacy or closeness, trust, acceptance, affection, and love. This need is especially powerful in your early ages as we start to desire connection and belonging to a social group or family group. Failing to meet these needs can lead to depression, isolation, or the feelings of loneliness. I would say that the core of this level is how humans desire acceptance, affection, and connections, whether it's showing love to other people or receiving love from others and feeling loved. When these needs are not met, people often experience negative emotions. So we can say that if you don't feel accepted or like you belong, your needs are not fulfilled. Therefore, according to Maslow's theory, you cannot move on to the next level, which is esteem. By definition, esteem means respect and admiration. This level states how we need and desire self-respect, confidence, achievement, and recognition from others. Basically, there are 3 categories of how this need can be met. The first one we can say is personal achievements. This may be engaging in hobbies, clubs, or work-related activities, but the thing about personal achievement is it not only provides the sense of belonging, but also a sense of accomplishment. You might say to yourself, wow, look, I did that. The second category we can say is external validation, which is basically gaining respect and recognition from other people. This can really strengthen and boost someone's self-esteem. An example of this can be when someone says to you, wow, you made that? That's really good. Or good job, you must have worked really hard on that. These are not just compliments and encouragements, but also a critical part of the esteem level. The last category is how you look at yourself internally. Ultimately, esteem has to be built and believed by you. Your strong sense of self-worth and confidence develops esteem. There are many examples of this, and I encourage everyone to say one of these sentences to yourself every day. I love myself. I am worthy of being loved. I believe I can do it. The past does not define me, etc. Now, what happens when your esteem needs are fulfilled is you feel valuable and capable of doing something. Opposingly, when these needs are not fulfilled, you may get feelings of inferiority, which are the feelings of weakness, helplessness, worthlessness, or any other negative view on yourself. Without esteem, you also cannot move on to the highest level of this pyramid, which is self-actualization. This represents the drive or motivation to reach a person's full potential and live a life with personal meaning. This would be a lifelong process of growth that only happens when all the levels before are met. So, to get a better understanding of this level, I would say self-actualization includes fulfilling one's potential, personal growth, meaning and purpose, and creative as well as personal expression. Starting with fulfilling one's potential, this is about being everything that a person is capable of being, which will look different for everyone, but basically this level means that a person is working to reach its full strength. Second, we have personal growth, which includes a continuous process of developing a person's talent, abilities, skills, and understanding of life and the world. Moving on to meaning and purpose, this is where a person focuses on finding their meaning and purpose of life, not just meeting the basic needs. Lastly, creative and personal expression. This can be understood in many ways, like artistic expression, any type of achievement, discovery, or anything like that. Now, once you meet this level, it is believed that you will meet the following characteristics: acceptance and realism, autonomy, and problem-centered. Acceptance and realism means that you have an accurate and efficient view of reality, meaning they don't look at the world like a fantasy. Autonomy means that they are independent and are not super focused on other people's opinions, like they have control of themselves and their thoughts. Next is problem-centered, which means they are focused on the problems outside of themselves and have strong beliefs and values. Back to simply psychology, we can say that although Maslow did not believe a lot of people could meet this level of true self-actualization, he did believe that we can experience what he calls peak experiences of self-actualization. This peak experience is a joyful moment where a person feels alive, using their full potential. This can be triggered by many activities, and the most common ones are artistic expressions, relationships, nature, or a sense of complete happiness and connection. This can be like seeing the birth of a child, standing at the peak of the mountain, an artist being deeply connected to its painting, a musician feeling their true self while performing a song, etc. Now that we've understood what each level of the theory meant, we need to understand that this is a theory, and it's not like your life would follow the exact stages. These levels are flexible, depending on the external environment or just differences between each individual. This theory also doesn't follow a linear progression, meaning that you can only go one way up. People can feel various needs at the same time or jump between each level. Now that we spent so much time talking about this theory, why is this important? This hierarchy is important because it creates the outline to understand our motivations by prioritizing survival and safety needs before going on for social and internal fulfillment. This is also a critical idea in fields like healthcare, education, or even like business. Alright, before we finish off today's episode, I want to say that my podcast is available on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcast, and Podbean. You can also find highlights of each episode on Instagram, TikTok, and Reddit. To learn more, you can also check out my official website and visual website. For people who are interested in learning more about psychology and meeting people with the same interest as you can join my online psychology club called PsychSpot on Instagram. This topic for this month is multitasking, and we would have many discussions about this topic. For more info about this club, you can check out Instagram, TikTok, official website, and visual website. If you liked today's episode, please leave a like or a follow and share with other people. I hope you guys will have a good week, and thank you for being with me here today at Inside a Teen's Mind. Keep up with my next episode, and I wish to see you on my next Real Talk from a Real Teen's Mind. Bye!